Hello everyone, it's Good Friday. My name is Debbie Jones-Snyders and I'm from the Hopedale Presbyterian Church. I'm delighted to welcome children and families to our church school lessons and crafts. Our story today is Jesus is Crucified and Dies. This is adapted from Mission Bible Class with images by Sweet Publishing and licensed through Free Bible Images. We have several coloring pictures for you. And we have a craft. It's a stained glass cross craft. And we have a variety of other activities for you as well. So you see there are lots of symbols of crosses around. Where do we find them? Jewelry, cards, pictures, books. A cross is often used as a decoration. And today we're going to find out more about what the true meaning of the cross is. So our story, Jesus is crucified and dies. Jesus was the Son of God. He was always kind and always chose to do right. But even though Jesus was good, there were people who hated him. They did not like it when he said he was King of the Jews. Some people hated Jesus so much that they found a way to have him put on trial and sentenced to die on a cross. After his trial, the soldiers made fun of Jesus. They put a soldier's robe on him and put a staff in his hand to make him look like a king. They twisted thorny plants together to make a fake crown and stuck the crown on Jesus' head. Then they kicked him, they spat on him, and hit him on the head over and over with the staff. The soldiers bowed down in front of Jesus and made fun of him by saying, "Hail, King of the Jews." Jesus is the King. Jesus could have called all the angels in heaven to come and help him. He could have called down fire to burn up the soldiers. He could have even just disappeared. But Jesus did not do any of those things because he knew that the only way to save everyone from sin was to die on the cross. The soldiers put a big piece of wood from the cross on Jesus' back, and they made him carry it. And when Jesus got too tired, the soldiers grabbed a man named Simon out of the crowd and made him carry Jesus' cross. The soldiers took Jesus to a place called the Skull. In other languages, this is Calvary, or Golgotha. The soldiers took off Jesus' clothes and cast lots, sort of like dice, to see who got to keep them. They nailed big nails through Jesus' wrists and heels to put him on the cross. Jesus must have really wanted to stop everything then. Maybe he thought about all of his apostles and friends. And since he knew the future, maybe he thought about all of us who had not been born yet. He must have really loved us to suffer like that. Jesus was crucified in between two criminals who had done very bad things. One of the criminals made fun of Jesus, but the second criminal told the first to be quiet and said, "You and I did bad things and we deserve to die. This man has not done anything wrong." This criminal thought that maybe Jesus really was the King of the Jews. He asked Jesus to remember him in his kingdom. Jesus said to the criminal, "I tell you the truth. Today you will be with me in paradise." Jesus' mother Mary stood near the cross along with John the Apostle. Jesus looked at them and said, "Dear woman, here is your son." To John he said, "Here is your mother." After that day, Mary lived at John's house so he could take care of her. God had sent his son to die for the sins of the world. Even though it hurt very much, Jesus decided to obey God. Still, when he was feeling very lonely, he called out to God, my God, why have you forsaken me?" The soldiers and rulers still made fun of Jesus. Instead of getting angry, do you know what Jesus did? He prayed for them. He prayed, "Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they are doing." Jesus knew it was time to die. He only asked for one thing. He looked down from the cross and said, "I am thirsty." Someone soaked a sponge with wine vinegar and used a plant stalk to lift it up to Jesus' mouth. Even though it was the middle of the day, the sky began to get dark. Darkness came over the whole land from noon until 3 in the afternoon. God had not forgotten Jesus. Jesus prayed to God, "Father, into your hands I commit my spirit." Then he cried out in a loud voice, "It is finished." And he bowed his head and died. At the moment Jesus died, the great curtain in the Temple of Jerusalem tore all the way down from the top to the bottom, all on its own. The earth shook and rocks split. One of the Roman soldiers, a centurion in charge of 100 other soldiers, said, "Surely Jesus was the Son of God." Remember what the true meaning of the cross is. Jesus died on the cross to save us, to save you, and to save me. We have several activities for you depending on your age level, interest, and ability, and you'll need to print the templates. There are several coloring pictures, and you can use a variety of things to color with, such as markers, crayons, or colored pencils. So here are some of the pictures. This one says Good Friday. We have the soldiers looking at Jesus on the cross. There's another one. And this one has the 3 crosses. Remember in the story, Jesus was on the cross between the 2 criminals. So there were 3 crosses together. We have one craft today, and it is a stained glass cross. What you will need for this activity is black construction paper. Probably a ruler and a pencil would be good, so that you can draw out the cross. You will need little pieces of different colored construction paper, some scissors, and some glue. If you want to hang your picture up, you'll need some yarn and a hole puncher. So the first thing to do is to draw use a pencil to draw your cross and cut it out. And then you'll cut little pieces of different colored paper and glue them on the cross. Then use a hole puncher and then cut yarn and tie it through the hole puncher so that you can hang up your cross. And the cross, now you know the story, and you know what the cross really means. So we have some other activities for you as well. So we have a crown of thorns maze. Wow, sticks together on me. And here you find the hidden crosses and you can color them. We also have a crossword for you. And here is a word search and maze combined. So this week, remember that Jesus died for you and for me. He died for the sins of the world because he loves us so much. The cross reminds us of his sacrifice and his huge love for us. Remember, Jesus saves you, and you are loved.